Today we'll be discussing a low-cost furniture company known as Ikea.
Ikea is a multinational group of companies that designs and sells ready-to-assemble furniture such as chairs, beds and desks, and also other home appliances.
It's known for its attention to cost control and its various architectural designs, and also its continuous product development. And during 2010, the corporate attributes have been lowered to about 3% in Ikea, which allowed it to expand globally.
There is a reason why Ikea sell cheap pieces of furniture that are said to be good quality.
For example, they sell wooden tables that are worth £5, which is extremely inexpensive, but what people don't know is that from the inside it's not completely wood. They use a honeycomb structure, which is a piece of cardboard shaped like a honeycomb, which is what gives it its strength due to its shape, and it is quite cheap when compared to wood like pine.
Air pressure expands small pockets on cardboard, making the structure into a hexagonal shape, which is what makes it as strong as if it was just a flat piece of cardboard. Arguably it wouldn't be as strong because if a small amount of pressure was placed in the middle, it would most likely break.
The honeycomb structure has been tested and it can withstand over 100 kilos, and that proves how strong it is. This also shows that the product would last for a long period of time, but if the product was completely wooden from the inside, it would have a much longer lifespan, and although it looks the same, but it would be much lighter to carry.
Although Ikea make all different kinds of furniture, they aren't all made from wood and have this honeycomb structure. This is because products like shelves and wardrobes, the wood in between the component parts would be too thin to have this structure. Okay, so this is just an average Ikea table. As you can see, it looks very much like solid wood. It's nothing different to other tables really. However, when you cut it open, obviously you can see the honeycomb structure that is inside. So unfortunately we haven't got an angle from where you can see the actual honeycomb structure. However, you can see how the cardboard is separated, so it is a very secure and long-lasting kind of product. If you look, I can apply as much pressure in the middle of this section as I want, and it's still not going to break because of the secure rib-like pattern inside of the product. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about fixtures and fittings and how you can make them low cost, so it limits how much money is spent on manufacturing. So obviously there are some very simple ones such as the rebate button meter joints, as these are very basic but are not particularly successful as they're not very strong and usually require some kind of adhesive so they're secured. So these are for very weak kind of structures, so if you're trying to build something that's quite sturdy like a table, I'd probably stay clear away from them. One of the best kind of fixtures that is quite popular in floorboards and tables and wardrobes is probably a tongue and groove kind of structure. So this works by how it's kind of got two parts, so a tongue and a groove that kind of insert into each other, so it's a secure kind of surface. Unfortunately, towards the actual join, the structure is quite weak and it requires a lot of strain on the product because it's only actually being supported by two kind of points, so it does cause a lot of stress and might not last as long as, say, a dovetail fixture. However, the manufacturing process of the dovetail fixture is a lot more complicated due to the intricate angles that are needed in order to make it very precise and accurate. However, with a tongue and groove kind of fixture, it only really requires two kind of cuts to be made, which makes it a lot more cheap and a lot more simple.
For cost reductions and maximizing profits, a method of doing that is by shelling the inside. What I mean by this is by adding ribs inside the product. So take for example this product right here. You see it has honeycomb ribs inside, which allows it to reduce costs and maximize profits while still having strength inside the product. So probably the most obvious cost reduction point is making the product out of cheap material, such as ABS and cardboard. So obviously we can't use cardboard for the main body, so to use that example again, they use cardboard inside as ribs to keep. So another way they could maximize profits is by using really cheap ways of fittings, such as the tongue and groove and bolts and glue. So another way they could do it is by, in terms of design, they could make it simpler. What I mean is that it doesn't become too complicated to over a point where it's over-engineered and it has too many materials, too many costs, too many fittings. So by keeping it simple, it reduces materials, costs, and makes the user trust the product more. To summarize maximize profits, ribbing the inside of the product or product component parts, using cheap material, using cost reduction fittings such as tongue and groove, using small amounts of material uses, i.e. thin layers, keeping product simple so it doesn't become over-engineered in the end, using fast, familiar product methods such as injection molding, use familiar designs so that the customers will trust the product more, using a familiar design so that customers will trust the product more, using materials that are familiar in products and in the country, and using key fittings such as bolts or glue.